Well, as we prepare to celebrate the holidays, some are fixing meals, others are battling substances. Hannah Falcon spoke with a doctor today about why abuse spikes this time of year.
Families everywhere are setting a table for a Thanksgiving feast this week. But over 900,000 Missouri families are leaving a space for a loved one who struggles with substance abuse.
This is a time of the year where we do see people really struggling.
The holidays are for fun and time with family, but it's no secret they're also stressful. Dr. Luke Buffalo tells me he sees more people fighting their substance abuse disorder this time of year.
Because oftentimes they will deal with those stressful situations by turning to a substance.
Hundreds of thousands of Missourians seek help for opioid abuse, according to the Department of Health and Senior Services. But a rising trend doctors like Buffalo are seeing is Missourians struggling with addiction to kratom.
It has some stimulant effects similar to what caffeine does, but the reason we get concerned about it is that it also has opioid-like effects, so similar to what we see with heroin and fentanyl.
Kratom is unregulated in Missouri and readily available at smoke shops across the state. Missouri Attorney General Catherine Hanaway is investigating 6 retailers for allegedly selling harmful kratom substances, possibly enhanced to make the opioid-like effects stronger. The retailers she's looking into are all based in St. Louis or Kansas City. Buffalo hopes the investigation informs Missourians.
As a doctor, what I would like to see is people have an awareness of these products, know some of the risks of these products, and understand why they may not want to take these products.
The Attorney General's office tells me it expects an update in the investigation as soon as next month. Reporting in Jefferson City, I'm Hannah Falcon.